Japanese men's fashion and menswear is hailed and coveted as not only some of the most well-crafted and highly detailed facets of menswear, but also just some of the most visually interesting and creative subcategories of menswear and men's fashion as well. And when I first started getting into fashion when I was in middle school, the keen eye and the sense of detail and the talent in pattern making that the Japanese had was really what truly inspired me and was essentially the primary driving factor as towards why I got into men's fashion as a whole. When I first discovered the incredible eye of Junya Watanabe and Comme des Garçons at the time, I was truly enamored by the wild silhouettes, the theatrical play, the mood, the connotation that was given to these garments, and I enjoyed seeing how that trickled down from the runways all the way down to the end consumer. And not only is the country of Japan home base for high-end couture menswear, but they are also a leading powerhouse in the men's heritage, style, and timeless men's fashion scene, taking references from Western culture and elevating them to luxury new heights with Japanese artisanal craftsmanship and precision. But the thing is, it's kind of hard to find well-made Japanese goods in the United States because they're highly sought after. There is a lot of competition between the consumers when it comes to getting these garments because there is a very limited production run of each garment when it comes from Japan. And there's also just very few retailers and very few brands that offer a wide variety of Japanese-made goods. And that's why today I really wanted to dedicate this video to 5 of the best Japanese brands and retailers that carry some of the highest quality Japanese menswear and men's fashion. All of the retailers that we're going to name today offer something different. They all have their own distinct feel. They're all very highly curated, and while some of them might carry the same brands as others, most of the time they actually carry different items from those same brands, which help give each brand and retailer their own individual feel. So today we're going to start off with the first brand and retailer, which is very near and dear to my heart, and it hits right at home because they've actually got their own brick and mortar store right in the heart of New York City, and that brand and retailer is Standard & Strange. Now, if you guys have been on this channel before, you know I've done a couple of videos already with Standard & Strange. They're just some of the most wonderful people that have this really chill, laid-back demeanor, and they're basically the only store in New York City of its kind. The theme of the store is reminiscent of the name itself, where you can find anything from the standard, being timeless, heritage-style garments that you can wear every day that are gonna last, they're durable, and quite frankly, just never really go out of style, all the way up to the strange, very rare, very high-end, luxury-style garments with some of the most interesting looks, insane silhouettes that you would otherwise never see anywhere else, from some of the rarest or even the newest Japanese menswear brands that are available on the market. I mean, Standard & Strange has it all, and theoretically, you could copy your entire wardrobe from Standard & Strange, from timeless staple pieces all the way up to statement pieces. And just recently, they dropped their new collection, which we actually styled in this video over here. Big shout out to them for letting me do that. But they carry some of the most incredible Japanese brands, one of my favorites being Black Sign, which is a Japanese brand that really takes pattern making and silhouette to a whole different level, as well as manipulation within fabric construction. And they have amazing garments ranging from the widest leg Gurkha pants that I've ever seen, to equestrian style, very emphatic style pants, to traditional straight leg raw denim, and beautifully made raw denim jackets alike. They've also recently picked up this wonderful brand called MENS Italy, which is a brand that is dedicated to relaxed tailoring and elegance, and just utilize the finest fabrics in the world, whether they're alpacas, whether they're heavy cotton twills, whether it's woolen suiting, whatever you can think of in that realm, Standard & Strange carries through the MENS Italy brand. And they're also the only store in New York City, or even on the East Coast that I know of, that actually have not just a few, but an entire section dedicated to authentic real McCoy's garments, which are already rare in and of itself. But quite literally, this is the only spot in New York where you can actually go and check out physical garments of the real McCoys and try them on. And they've also got a wonderful selection online as well. Please make sure to check out Standard & Strange because I think it's a great spot to get started when you're just getting into fashion, or if you just want to elevate your wardrobe a little bit. For the second brand or retailer, we actually have a really interesting store that's very popular in Europe. And some of you may have heard of it, others may not have, but chances are, if you've heard of the magazine or publication Clutch, which is a Japanese heritage-inspired magazine, This store or brand's beginnings actually start with the Clutch Japanese men's fashion magazine. Basically, the store Clutch Cafe was actually started in 2018 under the guidance of the editor-in-chief of Clutch magazine, whose name is Atsushi Matsushima, and this store was opened in London to bring the excellency and fineness of Japanese men's fashion to the streets of the UK. And from then on, they also opened up a website which ships to the United States as well. And Clutch Cafe to me is one of the most well-curated brands or retailers that I've ever seen in this space. Now, they do carry goods that aren't inherently Japanese made, but they do have a wide range and variety of Japanese made garments. Some of my favorites being the Olive Oil collection, which manufactures these incredible sweatshirts, which are my personal favorite long sleeves in my own collection, because these are actually a Japanese loop wheel made fleece sweatshirt that feels super plush, that feels super smooth, and has an incredible texture and a beautiful raglan sleeve appearance. I personally have the white as well as the gray, and for me, I really love the dark gray because it has an incredible grain to it and is something that works very well with jeans, very well with even dress pants, believe it or not, and also works super well with the rest of the garments in the Olive Oil collection, such as their safari jackets, their beautifully constructed pants. I mean, there's so many different garments in this collection that really exude quality and class, and also staying true to the origins of the heritage inspiration that was given from the Clutch magazine. They carry wonderful Japanese raw denim brands such as Full Count, which happens to be one of the Osaka 5, and from what I understand was the first Japanese denim brand to utilize Zimbabwean cotton, which gives these jeans this incredible feel, a really super smooth kind of touch without removing the ruggedness and the durability of what raw denim is. They also carry another Osaka 5 brand, which to me, I believe, is one of the more rare brands. They carry the Warehouse & Co. Osaka 5 raw denim brand, which also happens to own denim, but that's a whole different story. But they also keep true to the roots as best they can of the original Levi's, as well as other heritage style garments that the timelessness of Japanese fashion was built upon. So whether you're looking for something that's rugged, that's gonna last a long time, something that's understated, or if you want something that has a little bit more pop, something a little bit more structured, something a little bit more classic elegant, Clutch Cafe's got it all, making it one of my favorite retailers for Japanese men's fashion. Next up, we've got a retailer that was born in the heart of Japan and arguably has the largest selection of Japanese men's fashion and menswear goods that I've ever seen. And for those who don't know about it, the brand or retailer in question is called Hinoya. And Hinoya has long been one of my favorite retailers for Japanese menswear and men's fashion. Raw denim, jackets, coats, everything alike. But one thing that I really love about Hinoya is not only do they carry other Japanese artisanal crafted brands, but they also carry their own in-house label, which goes under the moniker of Burgus Plus. Now, Burgus Plus is a brand that is not just solely a raw denim brand, and that's what a lot of people know them as. But for me, Burgus Plus has possibly some of my favorite luxury essential athleisure wear as well as heritage style, timeless and meticulously made garments. One of my favorites that I picked up from Burgus Plus is actually this gorgeous fleece back turtleneck whose warmth literally rivals some of the cashmere sweaters that I've had and probably even exceeds that, while also being one of the softest and most comfortable garments that I've ever owned. One of my favorite things about this turtleneck is not just the pocket detail, but also primarily the nice and long ribbing details at the hem as well as the cuff. I just love a nice long ribbing detail. I think it gives a high quality look and it just sits so well on the body. I sized up a little bit on this because I wanted a really nice fuller kind of fit, which makes it easy to wear with baggy pants, with straight leg pants, with sweats, all different types of stuff. And not just this sweatshirt, but I also have their natural indigo raw denim type 1 jacket, which is one of my favorite raw denim jackets, primarily because it's actually made with natural Indian indigo, which for those who don't really know, it's very difficult to find a natural indigo pair of denim jeans, let alone a natural indigo denim jacket. And the details, the pleating, the look, the feel of the cotton, the color, the slightly cropped look, everything about this denim jacket I truly, truly love. And it just speaks volumes about the quality and the ethos of Burgus Plus itself. They also carry high-end outerwear brands like Buzz Rickson, which manufacture some of the most gorgeous leather jackets and other heritage-inspired goods as well. But primarily, people know Buzz Rickson because of their quality and their ethos when it comes to their leather jackets. So if you really want a nice, quality-made leather jacket that you could could pass down to your kids, definitely check out Buzz Rickson on Hinoya. This is also where I happen to get some of my favorite Oni raw denim goods, because Oni is very, and I mean very rare in the US. It's very hard to get, especially in my size. But Hinoya has a very large stock and a large collection of Oni raw denim goods, making them a go-to shop for any raw denim head who wants something a little special. Next up, we got another Japanese born and bred brand or retailer called Sunhouse. And Sunhouse does things a little differently. They don't necessarily 100% mirror the heritage style goods that a lot of these other retailers tend to push or tend to embody. Sunhouse pushes men's fashion a little further and takes a little bit more of a modern approach with the curation, which is why they carry some of the most incredible Japanese brands, such as Engineered Garments, which is a Japanese New York bred men's fashion brand that blends together the modern style of New York as well as Japan, creating the perfect brainchild of fashion. And I have quite a few Engineered Garments pieces, such as their iridescent Bonton pant, which is one of my favorite pants that I've ever owned, literally, not just because of the silhouette, but because of the fabric. I've also got their overpants, and not only the black peach fuzz cotton, but also in their green olive nylon. And not just pants, but Engineered Garments has wonderful shirtings and outerwear as well. Sunhouse also carries one of my favorite brands named Blue Japan, which is a brand that is dedicated to natural and synthetic indigo garments the way that they were made back then, and take these traditional style dyeing techniques and makes garments with a modern twist and a modern spin on them, making Blue Japan one of the most interesting fashion brands to ever exist. This is a very rare brand in the United States, and it's very difficult to get. So Sunhouse is one of the few retailers that you can actually get this brand from. And circling back to what I said in the beginning, when it came to Junya Watanabe, Sunhouse also carries the Junya Watanabe man line, which starts introducing to the wardrobe high-end luxury couture garments that are perfect for everyday style. They push the boundaries of traditional fashion, but they're not super crazy. Most of them are still pretty wearable and easy to style with other garments outside of the collection. And these are just a few brands that really exemplify how Sunhouse views Japanese menswear and men's fashion. Last, we're going to talk about a brand that I feel like most people in the raw denim scene know about, but I want to introduce it in a different type of light because they're not just a raw denim retailer. The retailer or brand in question is Blue and Green, and the thing with Blue and Green is they've really been changing things up a lot recently. And I have to say, I am actually in favor for the way that they're changing, and they're not making themselves solely a raw denim brand, but they're making themselves a Japanese fashion retailer whose bounds actually extend past just traditional raw denim and heritage style goods themselves. Now, the thing is, personally, I've had some very mixed interactions in the physical store, but at the end of the day, the collection there is very good. The garments are worth it. And last time I went, I actually had a pretty good experience. But the thing is, if you mitigate that and you just go online, you're able to see the wide variety that Blue and Green carries, even if you're not in New York. Most recently, I got one of my favorite pants at Blue and Green, which is the Needles HD or BDU pant. I always get the two confused, but these are some of the baggiest black pants that I've ever owned. I wear these almost every day now. I just love the way that they feel. I love the way that they look, and I've really beaten these up and they still feel like new. And not only brands like Needles, but they also carry one of the hottest Japanese menswear brands available right now, which is the Japanese brand Capital. And Capital is popular amongst young fashion aficionados, rappers, musicians, movie stars, actors, whatever you want to call it. It's just popular among the fashion conscientious society, and they have some of the most wicked garments that rival some of the brands that are actually in the high-end couture space. And not just Capital and Needles, but they also have this really interesting Japanese brand called Old Park, which is actually ran by the manager of a Japanese vintage shop right in the heart of Harajuku. And they actually take vintage garments from this store, they tear them up, and they reconstruct them to make some of the most interesting and beautiful garments that I've ever seen. This is taking vintage and upcycling to a whole new level, and Blue and Green is the only retailer that I know of in the entire United States that actually carries old park. So yeah, if you want really interesting Japanese garments, or if you want to try on some capital, definitely make sure to shop at Blue and Green. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I actually worked really hard on this video for the past 2-3 months, trying to get in contact with different brands, trying to make everything come together, and I'm so excited to finally drop it, and I really hope you guys love it. And if I missed any brands or retailers that you know of that I didn't cover, definitely make sure to drop them down in the comments. And if you guys have any ideas or topics of discussion that you want to see me cover, definitely let me know down in the comments as well. Big shout out to all these retailers. No, I don't have a relationship with all of them. I have a relationship with some of them, but that's just because I love them, I trust them, and I know that they treat their customers right. But anyways guys, thank you so much for the love. I'm so excited to hear what you guys think, and with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.